Hey there, Chad here for the AI Content Dojo. In this video, I'm going to release a new tool into the public that will help you make the most of the long form AI writing tools. In fact, it will help you write longer form content or maybe expand upon your content using these tools. And it's a really simple utility, I would say. It's not really an app, but it's a tool. It's a utility that will give you, it'll help speed up your writing, I should say. Especially when you're looking to expand upon something that's your own content and you want to maybe make your article a little bit more in depth. And so, for example, I'm going to show you the tool in just a moment. This is my website, Tokyo Spark, where I talk about things about Japanese culture and Tokyo as the destination to go and things to see and stuff like that. So dagashi is a traditional Japanese candy. A dagashiya is a traditional Japanese candy store where you'll see little kids hanging out, buying the cheap candies and stuff and just having a good time. It's really awesome. I like the candy too. So this is my article, and let's just assume that I wanted to expand upon it in some way. Like maybe down here where it says, what is a dagashiya? Maybe I'll take like these two paragraphs here, and I want to expand upon them and come up with some more content for my article. Now, of course, when I do that, I'm going to be thinking about my audience, my reader, and I want to make sure that they are getting information that is helpful for them. But I'm going to use my new tool to expand upon this content, and I will show you then how to expand on it inside of Shortly. So that tool is called the Paragraph Shredder. And it essentially does exactly what it sounds like. It shreds that paragraph. So you copy your content, you paste it into this field. Your paragraph, I could even just sort of bring this up, make it look like a paragraph. Your paragraph gets shredded into little leads for the AI, like this. Let me zoom down here a bit. So you get these leads for the AI. They're basically sentence fragments from the paragraph that you pasted in. You can use this slider to kind of add a little bit more length to it. Oops, it sort of jumped. But watch it says a dagashiya is a shop. You can change this and it'll sort of add and reduce the length of it. By default, it's set to this, and you can go longer if you wanted to. And I'm going to just take the middle. Which way you go just depends on your content and what you're getting from the AI. But also, when you click in here, if you click into this area, it highlights it all in blue and copies it to your clipboard. So now you can go into Shortly, and I've already started this one. But what you want to do is in the article brief over here to your left, you're going to want to enter in there something about what it is that you're writing about. In this case, dagashiya, traditional Japanese candy store. I just sort of started with that. You probably would want to add a little bit more, topical rich keywords and things like that in there to give it something to work with. And then you paste in what was copied from the paragraph shredder. And now here's the easy part. Now you have your leads. These leads are things that you've already written, right? So let's say if you were starting from scratch and you wanted to, well, you know what? I'll come back to that. Let me just show off this tool here real quick. So I like to set mine still to a little. You can, if you want to put the pedal to the metal a little bit and have the AI generate more, of course, you can crank it up a little bit. In fact, I might show that too, but here's a little. So all you do, it's very simple. A dagashiya is, you just go to the end of that sentence, hit Command and Enter, and just let Shortly take over. A dagashiya is a traditional Japanese confectionery store which flourished after World War II. In Japan, dagashiya are often found in the front of traditional sweet shops and serve a variety of candies. Okay, don't know how to say that. Malasadas? And uzumaki. Uzumaki sounds Japanese, this one. Again, with AI, make sure you fact check everything, right? Okay, next line. It's usually a very small store, right, for me, with a counter or two, sometimes even less. They sell candies of all sorts. Yep. Okay. Usually the first shop you'll see when you walk into a new neighborhood. Maybe they're kind of actually becoming a little bit less common than they were before. But they are these little shops, like the little corner shops, like you would find back in the, well, at least in the Midwest where I grew up, where you just had cheap candy to go as a kid, you know. Next line, or well, it used to be that. Okay, now this one's going to be a little bit interesting, right? The context is a little weird. The lead is a little bit weird. So you might want to fix that up first. But with Shortly, when I hit write for me, it knows to use all of this and this and this. So I actually, what is a Dagashia? Let's put that in the title so it has something to use. And then just come here and we'll hit write for me and see what happens. Nowadays, the Dagashi has lost its popularity to convenience stores. Yeah, it's actually pretty true. Convenience stores are everywhere at least in Tokyo now. Next, still, I like going to the Dagashi sometimes. Okay, seems to kind of already be a complete sentence. Let me go ahead and cut that off and then run it. Incredibly cheap, especially when buying Malasara. Okay. Didn't write too much. Let's do it again. Or not again, but, well, again to get more, not again to replace. Dagashi are not prohibited in Japan, so let's delete that lie. Okay, again, you need to pay attention. You need to be writing about something that you know about, because the AI will throw you for a loop sometimes. And, just, it is your article, it is your content, so you need to make sure that what it's creating is what you want it to create. Next line. Small foods like corn dogs or fried squid. Yep. But that's not what makes Dagashia interesting. I want to continue that thought. Let's let it tell me what is. Huh. Okay. And then other shops even offer light meals. Okay. Yes, they do. Yep. Okay. I think you kind of get the point, right? So what I did was I took my content. I took basically this little bit right here, right? I'm going to go ahead and copy this again. And then I pasted it into the paragraph shredder, which gave me this. It doesn't normally be all scrolly like this. I'm just zoomed way in. It's actually more like this. But I'm zoomed way in so that you can see it in the video. And then you paste the shredded part into Shortly and just step through and run them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste back in what I copied. And then I'm just going to highlight this. One of the features in Shortly is the highlighted. It'll tell you, it'll tell you how many words. So I've highlighted 81 words out of 354, which means that I just expanded these 81 words into 354 words, or 483 characters into 2,125 characters. Let me go ahead and get rid of that now. And you can see we got 273 words now out of the 80 something, right? It was like 83. So it's pretty cool. It's a very helpful tool, I think. It works in Shortly the best, but you can probably use it inside of Conversion AI's long form editor or Headline if they're still up. I'm not sure. Haven't checked in a while. And Nichesss has a new long form editor too. You can probably use it in there. Although Conversion AI and Nichesss are limited by OpenAI's new rules. And so there's a little bit of, I guess you got to kind of play with it a little bit to make sure that you get enough characters written fresh to be able to hit the write for me button. So it's not quite as smooth and quick as doing it inside of Shortly, but you should be able to use this in those tools as well, because the name of the game is getting good, strong leads. So in essence, you can kind of think of this paragraph shredder as a way of kind of setting up the dance for you so that you just have to go through the paces and let the dance happen for you. Again, the way that you probably would really want to use this, this was me just expanding upon this content here, right? But think about it this way. What if you were here in the paragraph shredder, or, you maybe in your Google document or whatever, and you were ready to start writing your article, and instead of trying to write the whole thing, you just kind of sat down and you wrote like a real good, strong, topical rich, like, I don't know, 5 sentence paragraph of a good, strong overview of everything you wanted to cover in your article. And then you use that as like maybe your article brief, but you also run it through the paragraph shredder, and then let the AI shred, let the shredder shred it out into a sequence that you can dance with the AI with, and take that into Shortly, and then pump out an article. Not really pump out. I don't like that word, because these AI tools aren't really trying to, I mean, they're helping you work faster, but they're still just a tool. They're meant to be used in a way that helps you be creative, helps you find new ideas and new things to write about, but also, of course, write a little bit faster as well. And that's why I think this paragraph shredder is extra cool, because it's not just sort of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping to see what sticks, right? Your leads are just kind of being crafted for you in a more sort of logical sense, I should say. Because if you were trying to just, write a bunch of leads like this in a row, like, what are the chances that you would write this? I mean, probably pretty low. But if you were just writing a paragraph, you might string together these sentences in this way. Yeah, that's natural, right? So you get to naturally produce a strong paragraph, a good, strong overview for your whole article, everything that you would like to cover in it, and then paste it into the shredder, then paste that into your long form editor, and be able to work very quickly that way. And where you can find this after this video has been published, this link will be over here inside of Tools, Paragraph Shredder, and it'll be available completely for free. Originally, this was going to be a part of what I'm creating I'm creating a community, basically. And I want to put together a really strong gathering of people, from industry experts to just all kinds of pros in the field, and those who are dedicated to these tools and the craft of creating content, and bring together like-minded people so that we can really work on all this stuff and advance everyone in this industry, so we create the content that everyone else is envious of. And so it was getting kind of complicated with trying to have, courses and other things and tools and all kinds of offerings kind of, in one. And so after a good long strategy session with a good coach, mentor, friend last night, that we decided that maybe taking the tools out of that, sort of hidden cutoff area from the public, and just making the tool available for everyone would be the right way to go. And I agree. I think it's really cool, and I want to share it with as many people as who can find it useful. So if you enjoy this tool, thank you for giving it a shot. Thank you for being here and listening to me just sort of ramble on now about what I'm going to be coming up with. I think it's going to be really awesome. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, you're going to hear me talk about it quite a lot inside of the AI Content Dojo Facebook group. And if you are not a member of that, you should be. If you like these tools or any of these tools, it's not focused purely on Shortly or Conversion AI or Phrase and all that. I mean, just anything in general. And if you're a content creator, then I think you would find it very helpful to be in that group. We help each other all the time. We have some interesting things that go on, such as soon I'll be having another video about a collaborative writing experience we're about to have, where several of us in the group are going to take turns creating a story using these AI tools. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. And if you want to participate in things like that in the future, make sure you're in the Facebook group, and I would love to see you there. And I appreciate your time being here. If you don't have Shortly or Conversion AI or one of these tools, and you want it now, please follow the link in the description below. That will, help support the dojo, because they'll give me a small commission, and that will help me create more videos like this to help you make the most of these tools. And until next time, take care.